Hey everybody, this is So Many Sequels, and I am Josh.
I'm Andrew.
I am Garrett.
And I am David.
Today on the show, we are talking about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze.
Tubular.
Ooze. Yeah, it's gonna be.
Cowabunga, dudes.
I think we're gonna have a good time talking about this one.
Okay. Last week we talked about the first Ninja Turtles movie. It's the 30th anniversary this year, so we're covering the series right now. We've got the second one this week, the third one next week to wrap it up. So, The Secret of the Ooze came out just a year later in 1991. Again, really not really starring anyone famous. Which is surprising to me, just because, like, you would think with the success of the first one, they would up the star power a little bit. But
no, if anything, they downgraded the star power.
If anything, they definitely downgraded it.
Despite getting more money, like the budget was higher for this movie.
Right?
Really? Where do you think the money went? That's my first question: is where did that money go?
I think it went exclusively
I didn't
to Vanilla
see it.
Ice.
That's what I was going to say.
Vanilla Ice got a lot of it, and I guess maybe the creation of those other monsters. I guess.
Yeah, the Turtles costume designers, the Hensons.
Yeah.
You know, it made bank off this movie. Nobody else.
Because it certainly didn't go into the story or the production value.
Not as much as you'd like.
No.
So I think that says it all in terms of what we feel, like how we feel about the movie, right? Does anybody want to offer a super positive review right now?
No.
Cool. Then can I just walk us through the opening sequence of the film?
Please do, because it left me.
I had to take some notes of this. So we open the movie with a great skyline shot of New York City and panning shots of people eating pizza everywhere.
There were so many people eating pizza. Oh my God, yes, I took note of that too.
These big old New York pies.
I thought it was going to be something was in the pizza taking over people's minds.
That would have been a plot.
There were so
line.
many people eating pizza and it was being delivered through pizza.
Then we are introduced to our new character. I believe his name is Kino.
Yep.
Kino, when he's not busy fat-shaming 15-year-olds, spends his time delivering pizzas to April O'Neil and assumingly other people, but we only ever see him deliver pizzas to April O'Neil.
Mm-hmm.
At the beginning of the movie, when he is delivering a pizza to April O'Neil, he discovers two vans in broad daylight with just tons of merchandise spilling out of them. He thinks, this seems like the kind of thing a pizza boy should look into. He walks down a flight of stairs into what appears to be a department toy store that for some reason has a deli, and discovers three people robbing this store. Okay. This seems like a good time to call the police. Instead, Kino antagonizes the villains, telling them that he is putting them under arrest, despite his lack of obvious authority. These two very large men proceed to move up to intimidate him, and Kino whoops their asses easily.
Out of nowhere. Out of nowhere.
I was actually shocked. I did not expect it. He was just like, he was just like, karate punch, boom, black mass, you done. Is all over in an instant, right? Then 40 people show up. Like, this is the biggest robbery of all time. There is a huge squad of goons. And I'm not exaggerating. It's like 40 people. Then,
go ahead.
in what has to be the most understated entrance in superhero movie history, 4 Ninja Turtles just stroll down the stairs behind him and go, "We got this, kid," before leaping into the air. Yeah. And from then on, the movie is a cartoon.
I just want to add one thing that I really enjoyed to the walkthrough that David just went through. Before the Turtles came in, but after we were surprised by Kino's knowledge of martial arts, there's a part in between that where he goes, "Oh, did I mention I studied martial arts?" And it was just brilliant. Brilliant style acting.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, the Surf Ninja himself pulled no prisoners in terms of this performance.
Well, he was the surf ninja, right? I was trying to remember that.
he was actually apparently one of the fight doubles, like the stunt doubles for the Turtles in the first movie, and
Okay.
he got we're all along so well apparently with some people they wanted to give him an actual role, but he studies martial arts. Apparently, every kid in New York studies martial arts because the Foot Clan is just recruiting like swaths of kids at a time to join their evil cult.
Underground Fight Club of martial art.
It's so childish that it's laughable in that sense, but it's like there's no logic is not important here, you know. Like complaining about it is almost asinine, but it's just funny how little effort really seemed to go into the thought process for the story.
Yeah, I walked away from this one thinking, you know, the first one, I think you still had to be a certain kind of audience member to really enjoy it, but it was more accessible to people. And this one I felt like was entirely childish, and had very little to offer adults, if an adult wanted to partake.
Yeah.
And again, I mean, there's not always something wrong with that. That doesn't mean it's wrong or something, but it's not very good for grown-ups. And I think the best children's movies, I think, have something for the parents who have to watch them too.
Well, I would say that we've been proven. You're absolutely right, Josh. That's been proven, like with every Pixar film, because like parents genuinely enjoy taking their kids to see Pixar movies. I would have a hard time believing that my parents endured this movie with any sense of like, oh yeah, this is actually kind of one of my more favorite things for my son to watch. Like, it'd just be like, God, please make him turn it off.
Right.
Pretend the TV broke. Andrew?
Well, this movie was the best movie I have seen in a long time.
I gave you the opportunity for compliments earlier, and you did not take it.
No, So when I was a kid growing up, I will say that this is the one that I actually like. This is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles that I actually like the most.
Mm-hmm. I think I remember watching this one a lot as a kid.
Yeah, I watched it a ton of times as a kid. Like I pretty much wore that VHS tape out. But like I look at this now and I'm like, man, I really like some bad movies. Like this was.
Well, your kid brain doesn't know any differently.
The kid brain doesn't.
The third one was the one that I watched the most, and I am ready for that one to be terrible. But I love it so much. But I'm prepared for it to be terrible.
Yeah.
But like, this was on like a completely The only thing I can appreciate about this is just the puppetry. That's all I can say. The puppetry was nice. They did what they did with Toka and Rizar was really cool. That's it. Oh yeah, and we also get a Vanilla Ice song. So there.
Yeah, lucky us.
I like it's sometimes fun to do. I read Roger Ebert's review of this film, and he is often filled with such incredible snark and shade.
Comes up with such creative ways to say it. You know?
And just a couple notes from the Roger Ebert review. He says, I bent over backwards to be fair to the first movie. I wrote, it's probably the best possible Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Now we have a sequel, and I may not get what I want, but I got what I deserved. And then he goes on later to kind of bemoan the idea of the Turtles existing at all.
Mm-hmm.
And says, I grew up with, Batman and Superman and Spider-Man, and kids today get what he says is the short end of the stick, because what kind what kind of hero are reptiles who live in the sewers and are mentored by a rat? And that made me laugh. And finally, and this is another. It's like he took this review and made it about not just the critique of a movie, but a critique of society, and that's the sign of a bad film. He says the Turtles hang out together, act together, fight together, and have a dim collective IQ that expresses itself in phrases like "cowabunga, dude." This is the way insecure teenage boys talk in a group, as a way of creating solidarity, masking fears of inadequacy, and forming a collective personality that is stupider than any individual member of it.
Wow.
That's a fire. That's some speech.
Fair enough.
Yeah,
right there.
Roger Ebert always. Yeah, I mean,
Wow.
fair enough. I
I
guess.
really understand, but fair enough.
Fair enough. Yeah,
Cowabunga, dude.
he didn't like it. Well, we love reading Roger Ebert reviews. We love it. We love to see them.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you can really say it much better. I mean, the characters, like I feel like they did worked a little harder to give the characters a bit more character moments. The Turtles individually, like Donnie had a lot more to say in this movie, and
He coded the mainframe.
Stood out a little bit more, but it was just all kind of for naught. Any amount of effort that went into this movie, whether it was from the Henson studio or Henson Productions making the stuff, or whether it's from the set design, or whether it was from the voice performers, all for naught here, because like it's just childish nonsense. And it would be one thing if it was funny, like if it was kind of like, but like the humor in this movie wears floaties in the pool. Like it's just all the most safe, boring jokes you could make in a Ninja Turtles movie. It's not even like creative. I got one genuine laugh, and it was because it wasn't genuine. I got one laugh because there was a really poorly worded line that was just so, my brain was in a completely different place, and I just started laughing uncontrollably. I don't know if I should say it on the podcast though, because even though it's in the movie, it's obviously not what is intended.
Yeah,
You might as well just say it.
If you want to try to censor yourself, you can. I don't know.
For anybody who knows me and thinks I'm a wholesome person, please stop watching now. So April, so like they're watching April's report, and Splinter's like, "Do not change the channel," or something like that, right? And then some time passes. April comes home, and the Turtles been cleaning. They've been cleaning furiously, cleaning the apartment, right, in turtley ways. And then she comes in and she says, "Hey guys, thanks for cleaning up. Where's Splinter?" And they're like, "He's on the roof." And she's like, "Doing what?" And he's like, "Coming to a decision."
Oh.
And I was like, and in fact, they said he's been on the roof since the end of your report. And I was like, oh, and then he leads with "coming to a decision."
Gross.
I was just like, whoa. Gross. Kevin Clash.
That was the thing for the adult right there. If you picked up on that innuendo style of a joke.
Yeah,
that was the.
I don't think that was what it was meant to be, but it would make me laugh. What are some other like? It's kind of funny how the first one Ebert talked about, like he gave it a lot of leeway. The first one I gave a lot of leeway from a nostalgia point of view, because it was like, okay, this isn't like super great, but it is like, you know, it is kind of like what I think as a kid you would enjoy. Mm-hmm. This like nostalgia played no factor for me. I couldn't. The nostalgia was gone like 15 minutes in. Was there anything that stood out to you guys, something you like remembered fondly about this movie?
I have no fond memories of this movie. Like I said last time, I really only liked the Turtles cartoon. I really have very little ties to any of the movies, but the one that I do is the first one, and we've already covered it.
I remember the part where they're talking to April on the phone, and Michelangelo finally gets the phone, and he goes, "April, I just want to say hello." And I remembered laughing at that part as a kid, and I laughed at it very similarly this time as I am an adult.
Andrew?
I did not think this movie was a comedy. No,
What did you think it was?
You
Say
didn't.
what?
You didn't appreciate.
What do you think it was?
I just thought it was like an action movie.
This is a documentary.
The action scenes lasted too long. You got to the point where like they basically won the fight, and then they would do something ridiculous just to keep the fight going. Like you guys could have worked that into the actual fight part, and now you're just toying with them. Have to fight them again. I don't want to watch that.
No, it was it was silly.
But like I think the only scene I actually liked in this movie was the opening shot where everybody's eating pizza. It makes me hungry for pizza.
The opening shot.
I said
with people eating pizza. The turtles don't even show up. Just you could watch a whole movie of people eating pizza for 90 minutes.
But you know what? As much as this movie is ridiculous, it's basically, again, I don't have a problem with it because this is kind of what I expect from a Turtles franchise. I expect it to be more chaotic than the first one because they don't learn their lessons. They get dumber somehow every time. Mm-hmm. And they get themselves into dumber situations. So this is more ridiculous, more childish. Of course, this is going to be a sequel in this particular franchise. It's just dumb. And that's what the Turtles are.
Yeah.
And I'm okay with it.
On that note,
okay with it.
On that note, I would like to formally apologize to the Turtle movies that came out in the late 2010s or mid 2010s. I think I might have been too harsh on those movies. I'm not liking them. This was not a legacy that really had much to uphold. I feel like in terms of the Turtles on screen, I was too mean.
I'm gonna join you on that because like at least those Turtle movies had Michael Bay attached to them.
That's not a good thing.
But like he's a reputable name. And
no, he's not.
He's a reputable name.
No, he isn't.
Hold on. He's a reputable name because, like,
absolutely not.
If you see Michael Bay, you kind of expect that kind of campiness, but it's also kind of entertaining.
When is it ever entertaining?
The first Bad Boys.
Literally, when?
Oh, that's such a flashback.
Armageddon.
This is Peter Jackson's King Kong all over again.
Oh my God! No. Anyway,
I'm just saying.
Moving on from your wrong statement.
I'm just saying, like Michael Bay. I personally don't like Michael Bay, but you know what? If it's Michael Bay, at least he has. At least we know he's bad.
Right.
I
don't know what that means. At least we know he's bad, so we don't have to assume the movie could be good.
Yeah.
Like if David Fincher was directing the Ninja Turtles, we'd be going this false idea that it could.
I don't know.
If it was bad, we'd be upset. But with Michael
David
Bay,
Fincher Turtles would be fun to watch.
Gonna be bad. So like you might as well just get and he didn't even direct it. He's just a producer on it.
Still though,
didn't he direct the first one?
No, I don't think he directed.
Did he not?
Of them. No. He got a couple of guys that he likes that he's a big fan of to direct them.
Well, either way, the Michael Bay produced Ninja Turtles movies are infinitely better than this one. So I don't know what the point of this debate is.
I'll tell you that.
They're more action-packed. They have a better story. It's less stupid.
I like I don't know. I thought I liked
honestly
the origin story, but maybe I don't. Like they gave us one anyway. I don't need to know. And then like how much time has passed? That's what I don't understand. We learned that it's been like 15 years since the Turtles have become. They're basically 15 years old.
Yeah, they're basically 15
all
years.
of the sudden they're finding this ooze and chemical, but there's been no real outbreak outside of a few big giant dandelions and the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Splinter.
Adolescent mutant dandelions.
Right. But now all of a sudden they found it, they've safely contained it, gotten rid of it, except for the one vial. And then Shredder rises from the dead in this dumpster. Like, what is the timeline from this movie to the last movie?
I assume that this is the Thursday after. This was the Thursday after the last movie.
This is just next week.
They came and picked up the trash. They moved it to the dumpster, and he woke up.
April O'Neil had like a complete facial done.
Yeah, April
Dyed her
O'Neil's
hair.
different. How long have the Turtles been living there? I have so many questions about the timeline and the situation.
Casey's up and left.
Yeah. Damn it.
So strange. So strange. And we shouldn't neglect the biggest cameo in the film, which is Vanilla Ice.
Right.
And he
with the ninja rap.
So I'm gonna go on. I'm just gonna say this: the movie's 30 minutes too long, like, and it's a 90-minute movie, so that's not a lot of time. But like the final act of the movie, for the most part, centers around donuts to change the two monsters back into normal animals, and a fight in a dance club in which Vanilla Ice freestyles a ninja rap about the Ninja Turtles, who he's only just seen for the first time.
David, I hope that you and I are gonna go down the same path here.
The most absurd premise here is that Vanilla Ice can freestyle. I don't know.
That's exactly what I said. I can't live in that world, David. It's not real. He's not that good. He can't do that.
The Turtles themselves, all right. A nightclub at a pier, in an old warehouse, that. Like the monsters, Shredder, all that, I can handle. Vanilla
Absolutely.
Ice freestyling on the spot, beyond the pale. I gotta say.
Absolutely not.
All right.
Unrealistic. The most unrealistic part of this whole thing.
That might be an obvious joke. I don't know, but it was worth saying.
No.
But I also want to talk about the way they beat the Shredder is the most laughable elements of the movie. First off, for the whole movie, the Ninja Turtles have barely used their weapons because parents got upset about them using their weapons in the first movie. So they mostly use their fists or stupidity to their advantage. Shredder, who could have easily escaped during this entire fight sequence inside the nightclub, walks in to proclaim, you will never defeat me because I have these, which allows, for some reason, Kino to just jump right on stage, kick it right out of his hand, and the entire problem is solved. Oh, no, you won't, because Kino just saved the day. And then they beat him with a guitar solo. They just launch him out the window, yeeted him, as the kids say.
Yep.
Although I did like earlier in the movie, Donnie. This is the first time I legitimately used the word. Donnie got straight yeeted at one point in this movie when the turtle. The big snapping turtle just went and just flung him 90 feet into the air. It was hilarious.
So that club scene.
Yeah.
I was wondering when, like, my only thing about this was that, like, during that club scene, I was counting like how many times people were just gonna randomly burst through the doors. Because like we had the turtles burst through the doors. Like, how many exits and entrances does that fucking place have? But like, because like it was just like surprise. I'm like, what else is gonna happen? And
they got to keep you on the edge of your seat. These turtle movies. Who's gonna come through the door? Who knows?
Yeah, but the obvious place for me anyway, and I'm just nitpicking at this point. But yeah, when Shredder just walked up on stage, and just it's like, how do you get up there?
The Master of Ninjas just strolls onto like a very popular, like a very dense dance floor,
and all the like the crowd goers and whatnot. It's like they don't care. It's like it's a entire terrorist attack just happening right there in the whole thing. And what do? They just keep on dancing in Vanilla Ice.
My favorite.
Stop.
Well, yeah. What else would they do?
Yeah. You telling me, Andrew, if a bunch of guys in turtle suits, and two monsters came in through your door, you're not just going to continue eating your shortbread? No.
I'd probably finish my shortbread, then I'd leave. Like, I just jump right in the water.
You might appreciate this. After they launch Shredder using a guitar solo, or just a big note, Shredder gets some of the formula or some of the ooze on himself, right? Turns into Super Shredder, as played by Big Daddy Cool. That's right, one of the original Outsiders himself, Kevin Nash.
Big Sexy.
And he doesn't really do much. What's the point? of having like a big reveal, like, oh, now the bad guy, he's supersized himself.
Right.
For like literally like 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They brought the bridge down, and then they were like, I feel like this was written for parents who were worried their kids were going to be afraid that the turtles were about to die. Because as the bridge is coming down, they're like, oh, it's falling. You know, it's a very tense moment if you're a kid. Oh, goodness, the turtles are trapped under the bridge. What are they going to do? And then one of them, I don't remember which one, one of the turtles, turns to the camera and goes, remember, ninjas are masters of our environment. And that includes being a turtle or whatever. And then they suck into their shells. And then you just see the shells like had drifted away. And then they popped out and they go, man, it's great being a turtle. And I was like, that's how y'all beat Shredder.
Yeah. They beat Shredder by letting him beat him.
By just sucking into your shell.
Congratulations. You played yourself. That's what they said to Shredder after he just sneaking in.
The whole thing
right
is just silliness. It's just silliness.
It is. It was, and
but again, I'm not mad at it. This is 100% a movie that I would turn on in the background if I just wanted something playing while I needed to do something more important. Because at no point in time would I not be able to tune back in, be relatively entertained, but not entertained enough to be distracted from the things I'm actually doing. It's a perfect movie for that.
I don't think it is.
You don't think so?
No. I feel like I couldn't have this movie would honestly just be like a waste of the power it would take to put it on. Like, it's not like, okay, maybe
with that.
That might be maybe that's overkill, but like if I'm gonna have something on in the background, I want something that like when I occasionally overhear it, I might chuckle, you know,
Yeah.
I might laugh, you know. That's usually like I reserve that for like Seinfeld these days because I've seen.
See, you didn't find anything chuckle worthy or laugh worthy because like
other than the coming thing.
If I was busy, if I was cleaning, it was a cleaning day or whatever, and I have that on and I'm doing this thing, and I look up and I see Michelangelo or whatever wrapping sausages around a human being, I'm gonna go, that's funny, and then I'm gonna get back to doing whatever I do.
You are? Why are you finding that funny?
Just because it's humorous
There was
in the
nothing
moment.
that funny.
When I'm not expecting it and I see him fighting with sausages, I go, oh, that's funny.
No, it's not.
It's not actually funny. It's just funny for
Why
the moment.
is there a deli in a toy store? It doesn't make sense.
I'm not watching the movie, though, so I don't know. So there's no context to why he's fighting him with sausages. I just see him fighting with sausages, and it's funny.
What I'm going to Garrett, if you and I were in a house and we were cleaning and you wanted to put this on, then sure, because then you and I could together look up and laugh and make fun of it, right?
Yeah.
But you sound like an insane person by yourself giggling at Ninja Turtles while you're folding.
That is the best
your delicates.
time to do it, is by yourself, giggling, watching Ninja Turtles. That's not a group activity. Because that means everyone is sad.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I have any other jokes. I think we got.
No, I've got nothing else to say. I'm really looking forward to the third one because we're already like these are shorter episodes, obviously now. What are we gonna say next week?
Nothing.
I don't know because honestly, I don't know if I've ever seen it. I don't remember.
They go back in time and are samurais.
I remember having the toys of them being samurais, but
it really was. I don't remember anything about it, but it really was the one that I watched the most and really, really much enjoyed, more than these two. So the fact that I don't remember anything about it doesn't bode well for it, but we'll see.
We will see.
We certainly.
I honestly thought that the third one is like the worst one.
That's what I normally hear. I was always the outlier.
Probably is. It would be hard to imagine it would be better than this. Like, they brought on some creative people, and they were like, hey, now we got some real ideas for the Turtles here. Who directed this one? Was it the same guy who directed the first one?
Who cares?
It was
Michael Pressman.
What all did he do? Is this it?
Nothing. Michael Pressman is an American film and TV producer and director whose credits include Law & Order SVU, Chicago Med, Blue Bloods, Picket Fences, and Elementary.
Well, that's a lot of shows that have some people like.
True.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 is not even in his Wikipedia page.
He said, "Just scratch me from that, dog. I don't want to know. I don't need it. I don't need it."
Take my name off that one, please.
We will go to IMDb and see if that takes us anywhere different. We got Michael Pressman here. Oh my gosh. No, this is bad. Oh my gosh. Oh, you guys. No, I'm just scrolling through made-for-TV movies.
Oh, no.
It's not good at all. No, this is bad. He's just.
To be fair, this looks like a made-for-TV movie. Well, there was a moment where I was like, "Man, I could see this being like a long episode of Power Rangers." That's what it looks like. That's a production value. It's just a long episode of a live-action Power Rangers TV show.
I need to find it somewhere. I don't know.
That's why it's a half an hour too long.
Yeah, I mean, the movie was over an hour in. I remember, like, when they showed up at the junkyard to save Raph, I was like, so this is probably the climax of the movie right here. And then I hit down on the controller, and it said that there were still 48 minutes left. And I went, what? To do what?
Yeah.
Anyway. No. It's kind of funny. I'm going to go through in a minute some of the other movies that came out in 1990. And this movie looks worse than all of those. Or, excuse me, 1991. This movie looks worse than those. It's like, how can that even happen?
Yeah.
Go for it. I don't have anything else to say about this sapsucker.
No, I think we can move on straight into the box office report.
All right, let's get this energy vampire out of the way. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles: Secret of the Ooze debuted, I believe, March 22nd, back in 1991. So we talked about it last week. I was a year and about 2 weeks old at this point in history. Josh was you weren't even one yet, were you?
No, not yet. No.
You were what, 2, 3?
91?
Yeah.
What month?
March of 91.
March? Oh God, I don't know. 2.
And then Andrew was about to get his driver's license. Yeah, 7. Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Honestly,
compared to the numbers we just listed off, 7 is close to getting your driver's.
It is very much so.
All right. Where was I? Anyway, it debuted March 22nd, way back in 1991. It was actually the #1 movie of the week, bringing in $20 million. You might appreciate this, Josh. This is the movie that unseated The Silence of the Lambs from the #1 spot.
What a shame.
How about that?
At number 3, and that brought in $6 million. At number 3 with $4 million, you have New Jack City. I don't really know what this movie is.
Oh, it's a Wesley Snipes movie.
Oh, okay. At number 4, you have Class Action, not to be confused with Class Action Park. And then at number 5, you have Sleeping with the Enemy. So that's your top 5 for that weekend. So no sequels other than Secret of the Ooze that particular weekend. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles would roll on to get $78 million in the United States over its theatrical run. It released in Canada and a couple of other markets like England and places like that, but didn't bring in much from the overseas, only getting $12 million from foreign markets, giving it about a worldwide total of close to $90 million, which beats its budget of $25 million. It pretty much made that back in its opening weekend here in the United States, but not as successful as the first movie. That said, at this point in 1991, as we mentioned last week, this was the second highest independent film of all time at that point. So, it's kind of like take what you can get, I guess. I mean, movie made a lot of money, but critically wasn't as well liked and didn't do quite as well. It would finish number 13 for the year of 1991. At the top of the list that year was Terminator 2: Judgment Day, which brought in $204 million in the United States.
$204 million
in the U.S. Yeah,
that's it. Wow.
For Terminator 2. Terminator 2.
I know. It's just crazy how times have changed.
Yeah. I mean, and this is just the United States. I haven't pulled up the worldwide stats, but I can do that as well. That was the only movie to be over $200 million that year. Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, I believe starring Kevin Costner. It was number 2 with 165 mil. Disney's Beauty and the Beast came in at number 3 with 145. The aforementioned Silence of the Lambs brought in 130. And then number 5, you have City Slickers, bringing in $124 million. I'll mention a few other movies that came out that made it into the top 10. And like I said, these movies, for coming out in the same year, look so much better and hold up so much better in terms of their what they look like and their stories than Ninja Turtles. You have Hook, The Addams Family, Sleeping with the Enemy, Father of the Bride, The Naked Gun, 2.5. Man, just ahead of Ninja Turtles was Cape Fear in the number 12 spot. Star Trek 6, The Undiscovered Country came out that year. JFK came out that year. What else we got here? Thelma and Louise, Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey came out that year. So a lot of good movies in 1991. A lot of movies that probably were better than Secret of the Ooze.
I agree with that.
I didn't really go through to see if there were any other movies we've already done in 91, but if you go, just check out, go to so many sequels on Spotify or Apple podcasts and just go through. You might find something cool. Yeah. Oh, Silence of the Lambs, we have done that one, so check that out. That's it for this week. No real other special stats, so I'll throw it to Garrett because he won the letterbox game.
Oh my God, I did? I didn't remember. I'm so unprepared. Well, somebody explain what this letterbox game is while I go pull up the information.
In the letterbox game, we, the cast members of this show, guess on a 5-scale basis what the users of Letterboxd have rated this movie overall, the average score.
Mm-hmm. What is that?
I am doing the best, and Andrew is doing the worst.
Yeah,
and that's
David,
all you need to know.
Are those statisticians?
Oh, yeah. So right now, Josh is, like he says, well in the lead. He's got 11 on the year. We do this for every movie we do. I'm at 9, so I'm just behind. If I win here, I'll drag it in a little closer. Garrett, he won last week. He's at 8, so just behind me. And then Andrew's down at 5. Now, I'll say this. I have the whole stat sheet pulled up here. I've been keeping track all year. There was a point in time in which we all just kept trading. We all would win at least one per franchise. Like Lord of the Rings, we all had at least one, right? Except for Garrett. And then Men in Black, we all got one. The Matrix, we all got one. You know, it was going great. And then it started to not go great for Andrew and went too good for Josh.
Yeah, that's where the problem lies. All right, I am ready. So, friends, why don't you give me your guesses about what you might think Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2, The Secret of the Ooze might be?
Go ahead, Andrew. Set the stage.
Yeah, Andrew goes first.
I'll let you all go first.
No, you go first because you're last. You get the whole whole spectrum of picking.
Yeah,
okay.
Papadakis at the end is 8 Mile.
So I'm going to choose. I'm going to go with 2.6.
2.6 on the movie scale. David?
I'm going to be nearby. I'm going to say 2.4.
2.4 on the movie scale for David. Jersh.
So the issue is I, from the start, wanted to go with a 2.7. However, I now hesitate to do that because I don't want to be the one who chose the highest score and risk, because it's not higher than 2.7, my friends.
Yeah, it would be hard.
It's not higher than 2.7.
But do you think it's lower than 2.4?
I don't.
I mean, 2.5 is still out there. Right.
Yeah, but that really throws it out for a loop. I'm gonna take the.
You could give it what it deserves as a 5-star movie.
No, I'm gonna risk it and go lower on the off chance that it is lower than 2.4, and pick 2.3.
2.3 for Jersh. 2.
Hey, you gotta play strategy.
4 for David, right? 2.4
for to where I am.
And then Andrew is a 2.6.
We got to come up with a tiebreaker here too. If we don't,
we do not. have anybody who got it correct. We have one person who got it real wrong, though, and that is Josh, because this movie, not only are you the farthest away from it, but it is at a 2.8, just above the 2.7 scale you said it would not get above.
Should have chose my 2.7. Well, it is a trash movie, and trash deserves to be taken out.
You know what that means, boys? Where's the confetti?
Hey!
Andrew is on the board.
Wow.
He won. And it was another Muppet movie that he won.
Exactly. That was Andrew's first win since Jim Henson's The Muppet Movie.
Oh, and this is the one where they honored his death. It came full circle.
This is. Yeah, we forgot to mention this movie is dedicated to Jim Henson at the beginning.
Yeah.
It's the first movie to be dedicated to Jim Henson after his death. The next one would be A Muppet's Christmas Carol.
Wow.
At least I got my chicken.
Well done, Andrew. So Andrew will run the game for the first time since for the first time in years.
Yeah.
It's about time. Woo!
Be better. Be best.
Yep. That's it. So next week we'll talk about Teenage Mutant. Oh, what are our rankings?
What did I give it last time? I don't remember.
You gave Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles a 3.
Oh, well, then this one is 2.
Yeah. I'm also right at it.
You're going to go disappointing, are you? You're going to go disappointing on that.
Right at
disappointing.
2.
Very disappointing.
I'm going to give it a 2.5. I thought it was okay.
Oh, you monster.
It was okay.
You monster of horrible taste.
It was okay.
Well, he
For
would
a
watch
very
this.
specific reason.
He would watch this alone, giggling.
I would just turn it on.
In the bathtub.
You know what? It's really funny to see sausages.
It is. Sausages are funny.
Sausages.
You ever follow the sausage? No check. It's funny.
Andrew, you gave it a 2 as well?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's a 2.1 for us.
2.1. So, 2.
Round that down to a 2.
Rounded down.
Yep, that was rounded down to a 2. Cool. All right, well, that is the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 2 Secret of the Ooze. We will be back next time with Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3. Andrew just said bye. Oh, no, there's back. Okay.
He was ready to go. He was
ready to leave at the very end of the show. It's like we're almost there. Find us online on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Letterboxd. Follow us on all those platforms. We're getting real close to the end of the year, believe it or not. In a lot of ways, it feels like this year's been forever, and in a lot of ways, it feels like it never happened. But it is somehow ending, and that means a lot of things that I'm just going to go ahead and take the time to tease, since this is a shorter episode than most. We got our annual Christmas episodes. We're going to be doing Christmas all December.
Mm-hmm. Not necessarily sequels.
No, not necessarily sequels.
Mm-hmm.
All rules are off for Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
We're planning a fun.
Halloween.
We're planning a fun pre-Christmas episode
Mm-hmm.
where we're all going to discuss our personal rules of what makes a Christmas movie a Christmas movie. To maybe help settle the age-old Die Hard debate once and for all, and other debates. But that's the big one. What else? Oh, we will do I'm excited for this one. We're going to revisit our most anticipated movies of 2020 episode so that we can actually take a look at what of those movies actually came out.
Do you guys even remember what was on your
Not
list?
really.
I remember.
I remember like the big blockbusters, but outside of that, I struggle to remember.
I remember quite a few of them, and I can tell you I think 2 of them came out.
Right. Yeah, I don't remember. I need to listen to it soon so I can write down what everyone said. But that's coming. That's going to be fun, and by fun I do mean quite depressing, probably. And then we'll just re-release that episode as most anticipated movies of 2021.
Right.
And see if any of them happen.
And then we'll have an end of year recap of what we actually
yes.
Same episode.
Yes. Of course, we will have our end of the year recap.
I gotta catch up on all.
Hope for the best.
I know. My goal is to get to 30 movies by the end of the year, and I'm at 19.
Yeah. So that's the next several weeks of so many sequels. Hopefully everyone will stick around for it. We're gonna try. Well, we just like everyone else. We're making the best of what we have this year, and hopefully next year is much better for everyone in every way. But before we get to that, we still got one more Ninja Turtle movie to go through. So follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever fine podcasts are downloaded. Till next time.